And it's Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We're based at Squadron 135 in White Plains, New York. This weekend at the United States Military Academy will be the International Sandhurst Competition, a international military skills competition. And to tell us all about it, we've got one of the instructors from West Point, a graduate of the United States Military Academy class of 12, and that is Rotte, a captain of infantry in the U.S. Army. Captain, how are you today?
Doing great. Excited to be here. Looking forward to talking a little bit about Sandhurst.
Hey, that's great. Now, this year it's going to be a little bit different. We've had a chance to watch it in some of the past years. It's a tremendous competition, very strenuous over 2 days for participating cadets from West Point and also from visitors from ROTC groups and from other service academies. Tell us a little bit about what the competition looks like this year.
Sure. So the International Sandhurst Competition happens every year. Like you said, last year it didn't happen due to COVID, but it's usually a yearly competition between West Point teams and international and ROTC teams. We won't be having international teams this year just due to the COVID environment. We weren't able to invite them this year, but we've got 19 ROTC and Service Academy teams against the 25 West Point teams, all vying to win the Reginald E. Johnson Sabre for the Sandhurst winners.
That's a coveted award. Now, tell us a little bit about the competition itself. It's over 2 days. It's 11 person teams and quite a number of events that they will participate in. But literally, they're marching up and down the mountains here at West Point. Tell us a little bit about what's entailed with the competition.
Sure. So it starts tomorrow bright and early at 6:30 in the morning, and they will be going for roughly 34 hours through the competition. So tomorrow, the 44 teams are spread out across West Point in groups of 4 across 11 different lanes, and they're going to execute each of those lanes and conduct whatever training event it is, whether it's shooting a pistol or treating injured soldiers or conducting communications on radios. There's 11 different tasks. They're going to finish those tasks and then move and race each other to the next task, and then just keep doing that all day, round robin, racing against each other for time, and then completing those tasks in as quickly as possible, as effectively as possible for points.
Very good. And tell us about the cadets from West Point that will participate. I understand that you had a competition in the fall of the Sandhurst teams, and some of the leading teams from West Point will participate. Tell us a little bit about that.
Sure. So the Sandhurst teams at West Point are chosen by fall competition. So they have what they call fall Sandhurst. So all 36 companies make a Sandhurst team of 11 men and women, and they compete against each other in that, and then the top teams are chosen to compete in the spring Sandhurst. West Point also has 2 additional teams that they field called the Black and Gold team. It's basically their like varsity level team. They choose them from across the Corps, and they train up all fall and spring for it. They also compete in the competition, but they have basically an automatic bid into the spring competition, the actual International Sandhurst Cup.
And you've got teams from the Naval Academy, the Air Force Academy, and the Coast Guard Academy. How is it to welcome those teams to West Point?
It's a great opportunity, honestly. They come here and they compete hard. In fact, in 2018, Air Force won it. So they come here, they send their best cadets that are available. They train all year for it. They are here ready to compete. We've seen them. Air Force and Navy finished in the top 5 in the first event on Monday, which was a relay race across West Point. So they're excited and they're ready.
Very good. And talking about the ROTC schools represented, I think it's a great opportunity for them to come to West Point. You've got some schools, Louisville, Oregon State coming in, Gonzaga, Marquette, Texas A&M. But also one of the schools we saw the last time, North Georgia, has a very fine program. They competed very well when we saw them 2 years ago. Tell us a little bit about some of the ROTC teams in the competition.
Yeah, so the ROTC teams, we have 16 teams here this year. The way they do it is they choose 2 teams per ROTC brigade. There's 8 brigades across the country. They do a Ranger Challenge, which is kind of like a mini Sandhurst. They train on a bunch of different military tests and they get tested, and they choose their top 2 teams to come here and compete. And like you mentioned, North Georgia, they won the ROTC Cup, so we give out an award for the top ROTC team every year. So they won that 2 years ago. And then I believe in that year they actually finished 2nd overall at Sandhurst. So the ROTC teams come here and they place high. They haven't had an ROTC team win the actual Sandhurst competition yet, but they're close almost every year.
Well, it's got to be a great experience for them to come to West Point. Tell us a little bit about for the visiting teams from ROTC, the other service academies, what their experience is like visiting West Point. I know in some years they've spent most of the week working with the cadets at West Point.
Yeah, so on a normal year, they actually get to live in the barracks with the cadets. The cadets have what's basically a day room, an open room where they have meetings and stuff. The teams will live in there and spend the whole week interacting with cadets, going to meals with them, seeing what classes are like, and getting kind of a cadet experience with a company. So they have a sponsor company. This year, just due to the COVID environment, we have them actually living at Camp Natural Bridge for the week. And they're in the same bays that our supporting units for the summer stay in. They're doing still the same training that they do normally every year. They're still spent the last 3 days training on all the different tasks that may be tested this week to make sure that they're on the same playing field as the cadets. And they've been exploring West Point, checking out all the different places the competition could happen, and making sure they understand the ground as well as possible. But yeah, normal years, they get a chance to just see a life in the cadet throughout the whole day, see what class is like, what the barracks are like, meet up with the TACs and talk to them. There's a great opportunity every time RCT comes here to kind of demystify West Point and understand what actually happens here at the military academy.
I think that's a great opportunity for both, because they're all going to serve together as officers in the U.S. Army after graduation and commissioning. Tell us a little bit now. This is a competition. They keep score, as they say in football. How is the competition scored?
So this year we're doing a little bit different. We're trying a new style of scoring. So what they're doing for this year is every lane that they do, they are going to be ranked 1 through 44 against all the other competitors. So they're not going to do all the lanes at the same time. They're going to do them throughout the day. And so for each lane, you're ranked 1 through 44, and then the winner will be the team who has the lowest score. It's kind of like golf. Like, you want to have the lowest score at the end of the day. So if you consistently get first, you will come out with like 10, 15 points, and that will be the winner of the competition. So your goal is to be the best at every lane possible and come out with the fastest time, the most points, whatever it is, across the board in every event.
Very good. And one year we watched the competition, and the last event was carrying a Zodiac boat around the parade grounds. And I noticed they had to carry their water bottles in the Zodiac boat. It was a tough way to finish. What's going to be what do you think is the toughest event in this competition?
I think that they will find on day one, they're going to go on a ruck march from the plane outside the Soup's house all the way out to Camp Buckner to basically finish off day one. So you're going to spend the whole day running around West Point to do all these different lanes, and then they're going to get met up all 44 at the same spot and get released to race out to Buckner. So that, I think, will be a real show of their mental and physical resiliency. And I think day two, our last event for the day, they're going to be out on Daly Field doing what we're calling the Crucible, which is going to be a physically exerting event across all of Daly Field. It's about 100 meters long. They're going to be doing things like low crawling, tossing grenades, moving through obstacles, carrying extra equipment, all to get to that finish line as quick as possible, with the hope being that when they finish, they end up having the fastest time, and that being enough to push them to being the winner of Sandhurst.
Wow. Well, we know it's all part of training, and they train year-round for this because it is such a strenuous event, and there's skills involved. What do you find that they will learn from participating in the Sandhurst competition, the cadets and the ROTC students and the students from other academies?
I think the biggest thing they're going to learn from this, and has been kind of our goal, is making decisions in tough situations. So we've taken this year with the plan for this year has been focused on making that squad leader for each of those squads make leader decisions at every lane. So they know what the lane's name is, but they don't know what exactly is going to happen to that lane. So they're going to get given the information when they show up. They're going to be given a couple minutes. They get to pick their team of 9 to do that lane out of their 11 people, and they're going to have to figure out who the best people are, and then they're going to have to make decisions during the lane about how they react to things. And it's just supposed to be a constant push for them to make decisions under pressure when they're physically exerted and mentally exhausted. And when they walk away, I think they will see that they kind of understand a little bit more what their physical and mental limits are under duress.
Very good. Now, we always like to ask our guests a little bit about their careers in the military, and talking with Infantry Captain Randolph R.T. Rotte, who is an instructor at the United States Military Academy, graduate class of 12. And tell us a little bit about what's been what did you do at West Point, and what's your career in the Army been like since graduation?
Sure. Unfortunately, I was not a Sandhurst cadet when I was here at West Point. My wife, who's my classmate, actually did Sandhurst for 3 out of 4 years, so she was the more HUA high speed one of the two of us. But while I was here, I was an information technology major in the electrical engineering computer science department. I helped out with random things throughout. I was mostly working on company athletics and then different jobs inside my company. I did a company command as a cadet at West Point for my final summer, which was a great experience. I spent 3 weeks just learning how to train and manage a company. And then I graduated in May of 2012 as an infantry officer. And then I went from West Point to Bullock, and then from Bullock I went to the 82nd, where I was a lieutenant, and I did brigade staff / I was the brigade commander's adjutant for a year. And then I became a platoon leader in 173 Cav for a scout platoon, and then I was an executive officer for a troop there. I completed my time in the 82nd, went to career course at Fort Benning. And then from there, I went to Joint Base Lewis McChord, and I was in a striker brigade. So I did a year on brigade staff as the lead planner for my brigade. I actually went to NTC and got to plan a brigade live fire as a planner, as a pre-command captain. It was a great learning experience. And then I took command of my rifle company for a year in June of 2018. Then a year later, I had a second company. I switched out, took a headquarters company for just under a year. And then in February of last year, I PCS'd here at West Point. I've been an instructor for MS 300, which means I teach junior cadets their military science and tactics. I teach them how to do operations orders. I teach them tactics like offense, defense, some specialty things like a raid and ambush, and then we have them actually pitch operations orders to us, and we give them feedback. It's kind of their like culminating event for us, and I've been doing that for about a year and a half now.
Very good, very good. What's the best thing for you and your wife to be back at West Point?
I think it's a great opportunity. One of our favorite things, and the reason we came back really was a chance to help cadets have a better starting experience in the Army than we did. And that's not to say anything negative, just there are just so many unknowns, and the more information we can give them coming from the Army, the better. And we're excited to come here and develop them and answer questions and just try to be as open and honest about what the Army is as possible. And so the chance to develop the future lieutenants who, for me as an infantry captain, hopefully being a major here soon, seeing these lieutenants potentially in my future battalion, it'd be nice to know that I helped myself get a good product later.
Absolutely. Well, really great to chat. I wish we could be up at Sandhurst to watch. We're going to get some film of that to get out to our audiences in the American Legion. And just really great to chat with you, Captain of the Infantry, R.T. Rotte, who is an instructor at the U.S. Military Academy and helping to run the International Sandhurst Competition, which will be this weekend up at West Point. Captain, great to chat with you, and thank you for your service to our country from everybody at the American Legion.
Thank you. It was great talking to you, and we're looking forward to hopefully seeing you here next year to see the next one.
Absolutely, look forward to that. And so this is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio. We're based at Squadron 135 in White Plains, New York, and we are proud to represent the 2 million veterans, members of the American Legion, and the 350,000 members of the Sons of the American Legion who are supporting America's veterans. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you to our guests. This is Ken Kraetzer for Sons of the American Legion Radio.